stop what you are doing right now. Tell everyone you ever loved to kick rocks. All that matters is the Valley Folk.
It's the Valley Folk. It's the Valley Folk with your hosts Elliott, Steve, Lee, and Joe. It's the Valley Folk podcast. The Valley Folk with your hosts Elliott, Steve, Lee, and Joe. It's the Valley Folk. Yeah, it's the Valley Folk podcast. Host Steve and Elliott, Lee, and Joe.
All hail the Valley Folk. Sacrifice your souls.
Good. I love it.
That's really good. That beat was just close enough to cool that I felt myself.
Did you feel yourself kind of?
I was like, I have no.
I'm super cool.
That was really good.
That
I felt myself like trying to catch up with the coolness of the song.
Of the song and the beat, and you're like, oh, why am I not in a fur outfit?
It's like you were running a race and that beat was just ahead of you.
Yeah,
you couldn't catch up.
I bet that's cool up there. Those are really cool people.
Well, here I am.
Just a little younger, a little faster.
Yeah, a little younger. Yeah.
Speaking of younger, did you recognize the voice on the track?
Is that Noah?
That's Noah Grossman.
Oh,
cool.
Angel Noah. I love
from
Noah.
Smosh. He was one of the people that I got to work with when I was over there for 3 years. This is from his friend from the SoundCloud Popsicle, Popsikl.
That's a good SoundCloud name.
I would call that a bop.
I would call it a bop as well. I would also. Would you call that a bop? Do you feel
A what?
a bop?
A bop.
That's a bop.
It was a little
that's
bit of a
bop.
banger.
Yeah, a little bit of a banger
yes.
and a bop.
Oh, a bop, of course. Yes,
That's really good.
Did you
I
get
thought it was
scared
a
again?
nice little tune.
Did you get scared again that you were being outrun by Cool?
Yeah.
When I said bop.
And Bop is out ahead of Elliott Morgan, and so is
here
that
we
last
go.
track
Pop,
we just
here
heard.
he comes.
No,
a banger. Uh-oh.
Guys, we all. I'm
He's
ahead of
rounding
Bop.
a corner.
I'm beating Bop in the cool spectrum, and that's not saying a lot. Also, shout out to Cam Gibson, a longtime patron. He's a member of our tier that allows for shout outs every now and then. And Cam, we reached out to people and we're like, hey, and so we have all these people that we're going to talk about. And Cam has an Instagram account that he wanted to shout out, and it's called Gibson Tech, and he's getting into photo editing. And I say this because if you like photos, go check it out. But also, if you're just looking to reach out to other people in the community, and you're like, oh, we're all weird, and clearly we have a connected, strange sense of humor, you can check that out. But also, this beer's I'm about to drink this beer.
I know. So, okay, this is, if you haven't been here before, which I'm shocked because we've done 39,000 of these. This is the Valleycast. We are 3 out of the 4 members of the Valley Folk. We are
different word
dancers. We're enlighteners.
We're painters
of a sort.
Gurus.
Gurus.
Hairstylists.
We're also children that decided to do some fun things on the net. And we are now doing this podcast for you right now. So give your ears a listen. We all come with a topic and we get to discuss it, and it's really beautiful. Elliott was diving in previously about a delicious beer that he is having. We got a new P.O. box, and an angel of light sent us a bunch of sick craft beers.
Fell from the heavens
and
to
some
send
Glen
us
Meringue,
gifts.
and it is. I'm actually gonna take a
Please,
sip, and I haven't had beer in 900 years, but.
Take a little pop of that
beer in
right in your
900
mouth.
years.
But goddamn, do I miss an IPA?
Oh,
my
so
God.
good. It's so good.
I got
This is
fully
High
erect
Lie?
nipples.
From Tampa, Florida, I think, or around Tampa.
That is some good stuff, man.
We're all
from-
big
I know,
fans of the
Highlight.
IPA here.
We are all big fans of the IPA. Remember when you wouldn't beer?
No, I know. Well, that was my. Yeah, I lasted like 8 or 9 months. Or
You
something.
did
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I did enough. I'm fine.
You went on hiatus.
Yeah.
Speaking of P.O. boxes, our
Ooh.
P.O. box is 15445 Ventura Boulevard, Suite 976, Sherman Oaks, California, 91403. That's 15445 Ventura Boulevard, Suite 976, Sherman Oaks, California, 91403. I don't know why I'm saying suite. It's pound. Just put it back. It's a box. It's on a suite.
Because it's
Hashtag.
sweet, you know?
It's sweet. Yeah.
It's real dope.
Sweet.
So
It's
check
also
that
a
out, folks.
sweet, and we need
Check
it.
that out. It was so kind. Also, we got this in our P.O. box, and it's right behind me. It's so wonderful. Katie Joyce sent us this, and it's so stinking cute. And she'd sent it forever ago,
It's
so
a
we didn't check
circular
it.
cut.
Dude, it's
Love
so
it.
cool.
Piece of
I
art.
love it so much. She sent us coasters. She's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Casey Landican. We got a bunch of wonderful things. We're going to shout you out later.
For those
but
of you
you're
that
wonderful.
are listening and aren't watching the video, it's a circular cut from a tree.
Oh yeah,
And
a lot of people listen.
It's
to this
about
podcast.
it's about 2 inches thick. It's really it's
so
hardy.
cool.
It's a cool piece of art, and she put our logo on it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's very rustic. It's very
That's
Moose
perfect.
Lodge.
It is Moose Lodge, and it's perfect. So thank you very much, everyone. You're just also, I just think it's amazing that we even get things in the mail from
So
people.
cool.
That blows my mind. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
I love
and
you.
thank
You're
for
treasures.
sending stuff. It's
All
awesome.
very nice. Listen, I'm going to
Oh,
try
nice.
this beer now. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. Sorry, I shot a little bit. And I'm
You have you not tried it yet? I just tried
Here we
it,
go.
Elliott. Oh, you're so
Oh, wait a minute.
ridiculous.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Everybody,
Let's get
Elliott
into it.
Morgan
This
about
is
to
hi.
taste a IPA.
Thank you.
He doesn't have a virgin mouth, but he did re-virginize. He's about to lose it for the second time.
Is this the first beer you're having in like 19 months?
No.
Can you just lie and say yes?
Yeah,
Yes,
it really
okay.
helps the drama of the podcast.
I haven't had a beer in years.
Years.
This is
That was a Jeff
this
Goldblum
is
read.
fantastic. This is
I haven't had a beer in years.
In
I haven't had a beer in
years.
years. No, that wasn't Jeff Goldblum. This is very good.
It was outrageous. I literally am like, now it's all I can think about. Like now I'm upset.
Yeah. Ooh,
Did you guys see? Did you guys see Jeff Goldblum on Hot Ones?
No,
It's
was he great? I'm sure.
ridiculous.
He's
It's
a dream.
he's a fever
stinking
dream is
he
what
is a
he
fever
is.
dream
He's so
of
cool.
He's very cool, and he's very Jeff Goldblum, and I love him, and it was entertaining as all
I
hell
love him.
because he's Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum. But when we say Jeff Goldblum is cool, it's like
No,
he's theater nerd cool for sure. Like he is.
No, he's
I
got a
promise
swag
you,
that is.
watch it.
I don't know. Here,
He's got a
Delvin-
swag, and I'm
Sure,
not dismissing
sure.
that he is cool, but you'll watch it and you'll
You're
go,
like,
oh
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we were a little duped because he's just straight up theater kid, but then became
I don't
cool.
give a
Now-
crap. I don't give a crap. I think he was
He's
the
still
coolest.
cool?
He was the coolest theater kid. Delman recently did a commercial with him, and he was like, "He's cool."
You
He's
guys
the
will
coolest
watch
thing
and
in
you
the
will
entire
agree with
world.
me completely. I hope.
And I
we
love
were were filming Your World Today the other day,
Mm-hmm.
which Yesterday, Wednesday, and there was this. I was shirtless, and
Oh, yeah.
Joe was like making fun of me, and
The
so
riff.
he kept like coming. I was like, just think of anything, and Joe would be like, your hair looks like a Batman symbol or whatever, or your chest hair looks like a Batman symbol. But then like he leaned in at one point, and he was like, you look like a cheap
No,
Jeff.
shitty. He's a
Shitty Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Thank you.
what? Yeah, it like me and Lee like stopped dead in our tracks. We're like, that's not even remotely insulting.
That's
and then
not
it
at
just
all.
it's like anytime you mention Jeff Goldblum's name, there's a little bit of like everyone just pauses like, oh, isn't he great? He's
Isn't he
great, right?
He's a treasure. He's a national treasure.
I am
So
not.
cool.
Dis-
I
I'm
love
not
him.
disagreeing.
I understand what you're saying though. He looks like if he hadn't been famous, he would have been like a community theater director.
Yes.
I'm not even talking about his look at all because he looks darn cool, especially
Yeah.
for his age.
Right,
It's just
because
the
of
way
fame.
he
It's just the way he
totally
is.
acts. He's a weirdo.
That makes sense.
But it's a good weirdo, and
I
he
love a
wears it.
weirdo.
But man, it's like it's all bravado too.
Yes.
There is
Yeah.
not one iota of humbleness.
No, he's-
It's like he loves Jeff Goldblum.
That's
He
great.
literally.
Good for him.
Oh, I am a
Self-love
shitty
is
Jeff
hard.
Goldblum.
Self-love is hard, guys. It's hard. I love it.
At one
I-
point, they show apparently there's like a big gold statue of Jeff Goldblum with his shirt, like where he's got his shirt off and he's
Yeah.
laying down. And it's huge, and I forget what city he's in.
Like
but they,
France or
It's
something?
from the Jurassic Park thing.
yeah,
It's
they
that-
bring
yeah,
up a
yeah,
photo
Malcolm,
of it, and they're like, "What do you
what's
think
his
of
name?
this?" And he just laughs and he goes, "I love it. It's amazing that
Ian
that
Malcolm.
exists." And,
Ian Malcolm, thank you so much.
It was
Good
almost
God.
like he was saying, "You're welcome" to
Yeah.
the world. Like
Yeah.
I
most
mean,
people would be like, "Ah, a gold statue. Ah, it's very nice. I didn't need to have that."
I
of
really
me.
love
But he
that.
was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." I loved it.
Been lobbying for it
100%.
for years.
I'm actually going to start with my topic because I think it really translates very well into smoke shows, which the smoke shows of Jeff Goldblum. So I actually mentioned this to the boys about a week ago. There's a film on Netflix called "To All the Boys I've Loved Before," and it is gaining pop culture traction. Everyone,
Oh, I'm seeing
It's-
a lot of articles.
It's a lot of articles. I think for me, I'm going to go bold and say it's like the 10 things I hate about you of this generation of like, that high school rom-com. It's the like 16 Candles of this generation, like which bravo Netflix for crushing
When
it.
you're saying that, are you saying guys and gals alike would watch it? Because when 10
Guys
Things
and
I
Gals
Hate
Alike,
You
okay.
came out, I was like, I'm going to watch this on
Yes,
repeat
I
because
think-
it's cool.
I think guys and gals alike could watch it and have watched it. My 34-year-old friend turned me onto it and she went, Lee, you have to watch this movie. There's a kid in it that's 22 and I have unnatural feelings about this kid.
Those feelings actually sound very natural.
They're very natural feelings. He's 22. He's fine. It's fine.
22
He's
is fine.
22.
22 is fine.
22 is fine. But she's
like
like,
to go on
you
record and
have
say
to.
22.
22 is
22
fine.
is
22 is
fine.
fine. And
It's
also,
a
it's
really-
Hollywood, so more than likely he's 26 years old.
22 is fine is like one of those.
21, Joe will kind of give you shit about it, but
Sure. 22's fine.
22 is Fine is one of those Frank Sinatra songs that didn't age
It is
well.
100% 22 is fine.
22 is fine.
She's a cute little duty. Yeah.
Don't call her a girl. She's almost a woman.
It's almost a lady.
22 is a woman.
22 is a woman. She's like, you just have to see it. He is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. He's got swagger like nobody's business. And in the moment, I was like, Jesus, thirsty much? Like, good God, woman, calm down.
A little parched. Why don't
And
you
then
take a little sip?
I went home and watched.
And then you got real parched.
God,
And
so
Delman has been in a hotel for 4 days.
Because Lee's
can't
been
get it out.
canoeing.
in all, I've been canoeing. In all fairness,
Get me a canoe.
a canoe. In all fairness, literally, Delvin came home, and I was in my in the second time I was watching it that night, and he came home. And he's like, "What's this about?" And I was just like, "This is his kid, and he's a thirst trap, and he's a dreamboat, and I can't
Drooling.
get past it." And then literally, Delvin's like, "Pff, "Okay," and then 4 minutes in, he's like, "Oh yeah, I get it."
He is
Fully
a very,
understood.
very pretty boy.
He's a very pretty boy. He's also just like adorable. The character's name is Peter Kavinsky, and he's like the Jake Ryan of this generation. He's adorable. You need to watch it because I think you'll actually really like it. But it's really cute.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
But it's also, I went on to that wormhole that most people do when
Pardon
they
me.
have it.
Jackson.
Good God, that was disgusting. He ruined everything for me. I went into that wormhole of like, who is this guy? What is he doing?
What
are
has he
his favorite-
done?
Does he like pinto beans or black beans?
Does he like
kind
girls
of
with pink hair?
I like listened and watched every single interview with him.
What'd you
and-
find out?
Oh, it all held up. He holds up. He
Really?
he structurally holds
It's not
up.
like
sound.
a Lana Del
No,
Rey
he's like
thing.
he's like a adorable. He's like super smart and like very self-aware, and I would like to marry him.
He's got one of those smiles connected to
it's
one of
unreal.
those jaws that
Yeah.
looks like he could take a bite out of a granite
Yeah,
countertop.
yeah, and it's adorable. And he's like, and
he's
you'd be
a-
like, "Oh, isn't that the cutest granite bite you've ever seen?"
Yeah.
Like it's so cute. But what I was gonna ask for you guys was, one, I'm kind of glad of that generationally I didn't have the internet to wormhole. Versus people like there were certain people that shook me. As far as like, oh, I love them and I love them forever, and now they're like ingrained in me. When
Dee
you see a
Snider,
movie,
David Lee Roth, I get it.
sure, those are the ones you pick. Dee Snider of all the people you could do, horrible. No, but like, so a good example, a perfect example, in fact, is Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Had About You. Like that carried me.
Yeah.
Devon Sawa in Casper.
Every girl
Carried
likes
me. Of
course, Devon Sawa.
Sawa.
But what I'm saying is like, so what back in the day, we had Teen Bop magazines where you would like sneak them and buy them and hide them from your brother because he'd ridicule you every day.
Slash hide them from you while he
sure,
was looking
yes.
at them and loving them.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
But we had those.
Gotcha.
Boom. And we all did it. We all did it.
But we didn't have the internet to like find like Cosmo Girl to give him an interview. We didn't have those wonderful wormholes. But I think for this generation, I'm just going to keep saying for this generation because I do feel old talking about him. But
I know it's funny. You're like for this
You're, like,
for this generation
blushing
for
a
this
little
different
bit.
generation.
so
This is
cute.
really amazing,
She's
and he's
not,
beautiful.
like-
and I
I'm
love
not
him.
kidding.
Leah
He's
is selling herself short here.
next
She showed
level.
us. She showed us the text thread they had.
Oh
Going.
yeah, me and my best friend have a text thread.
This was like
This is real.
miles.
My
long
favorite,
text
and I'm
thread.
gonna blast her because I love her so much. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Is Kimberly, my BFF, Lee FF. But she literally texted me. She was like, "Do you remember what the world was like before he existed?"
Oh, that's funny.
She's like, "It's like, do you even remember what your life was like before you knew he was on Earth?" And I think that's we're both married in very wonderful relationships.
What did I say? He
And-
looks like what's the I think he looks like Anthony.
His name
from-
is Noah Centineo. I don't even think I've mentioned his name.
Anthony from Queer Eye.
Yeah,
That's
he
his
looks
name,
like
right?
a-
He looks like Anthony from Queer Eye, hulked out a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
But didn't go all the way and was like, you know what? I'll stop right here because
I'm a dreamboat.
Look at me.
Yeah. But anyway, so my question to you guys was, who was that person in your like that like
When
you
I
were
was
just
that
like
age?
fixated? Like you had those like they walk into the school, they say, "Is Lee here?" and they grab your hand and they take you outside and all your friends watch as you kiss. Like those
Yeah.
girls do a lot
your
of fantasy
metaphor
things.
is now confusing me.
What I'm saying is, who was that
fantasy.
person? The
Yeah.
fantasy. Who
Who
was
wa-
that person that like shook you so good that you were like, "This is it. It's Tiffany Amber Thiessen for the rest of my life. No one is better than her." I'm putting it in your mouth because I don't know who it would be.
The ones
But
that-
I'm sure. Did men do this? Do only
Oh,
girls
yeah,
do that? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
no,
I'm
we did.
assuming men did.
For
and
sure.
I'm just, but that one person.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen would be like if I was like 15 years older than.
Okay, it was a
Where
joke.
I'm at
D.
now.
Snyder, he D. Snydered me.
Yeah,
I would
she
just
loved
like to
D.
say
Snyder.
I still
It's in the text thread.
I still consider myself.
Like someone that you even harbor now, like even from your days of 15
Elliot, what
being
16-year-old actress do you love right now?
But also,
Say it.
you
Say it.
remember how that was like Freddie Prinze Jr. when they put him in that movie, and you were like, he's 28 years old. Like
Oh, yeah.
he's,
No,
those
I got a
people.
few that come to mind, but I want to hear what
I wanna
Elliot has
know
to
what you
say.
have to
First of
say.
all, I would just say that I would watch this show or this movie, this show. That's
You
like
would,
a
I would
grandmother.
watch this show.
I'd watch that
these
program.
I would watch this picture.
The picture, yeah. I would probably watch it and be like, well, this is made specifically for me, not realizing that it's made for people 10 years younger than me.
That's
and
kind
so
of
that's
what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, thank you so much, Netflix. And like every other 15-year-old was like, thank you so much, Netflix.
Yeah. There was Britney Spears would be the big one.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
You were a Britney
The
Spears
current
man.
one I can tell you is Dua Lipa.
Really? Wow.
I followed her on Instagram, and then I'm starting to consider following some of the fan accounts that are showing up on my Explore page. I think they're doing good things. I think they're showing good photos and like her and doing candid, like they're taking stuff from her Snapchat and stuff. So that's nice.
Okay.
Okay.
You were a Britney Spears man. I
But
was a
was it-
Christina Aguilera man.
Really?
Yeah, I liked her more.
But like, is there anyone in a
Sharpson.
movie? Was there a movie that you were like, I wish that was me?
10 Things I Hate About You did
Oh.
also
Did you ever
affect
do one
me.
of those? Like, sure wish that was me.
Yeah.
Mine
All
was
of
10
them,
Things
I
I Hate
think.
About
All
You.
every movie.
Yeah. You
Every
mean like as
movie.
a teen sort of drama?
Sure, yeah. Or teen, like, rom-com. Any of those. It doesn't have to be that because that is a specific question. And I'll take Britney Spears if that is
it's a
in
good
fact
question.
your
It's like
thirst trap. But for me, again, it was like Heath Ledger. One, I loved it because Julia Stiles was like super smart in
That's
that film.
the girl that I loved the most.
That's
in that
what I'm
movie. I
saying.
had a huge crush on
because she was
Julia
kind of like a
Stiles for the
badass in
longest
it,
time.
and she was like super
Yeah,
smart,
she's
and
great.
she didn't want him at all, and that really settled right with me.
And to be honest, like she wasn't set up as the sex symbol in that movie.
Yeah.
It was Alex Mack. What's her name? I forget her name.
No,
Who knows
no
it?
idea.
No one
The girl that
remembers.
plays her sister. She was from the Secret World of Alex Mack.
Yeah, she
which
was.
was one of my first crushes. And I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie because she's in it.
Yeah.
And then watching it, something just clicked, and I was like, no man,
man,
it's
it's
all
Julia
about
Stiles.
Julia Stiles.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah,
Look
man,
at her.
She's Julia Stiles is up there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, but my whole friend group back then was like, Julia Stiles? I don't know. That doesn't track. And I
know.
was like, yes, it does.
Would have been in that camp then, but now I've grown to appreciate her.
Oh.
Wow.
Throwing this out, I just had another sip of this beer and it was delicious, and it came from Ken Brownfield.
Oh, there you go.
And
He has a big old crush
who
on
did
Ken
not even
Brownfield.
remotely ask for his name to be
No, he
mentioned in
didn't.
full. And
No,
I'm
that's
sorry,
true.
Ken. Thank you.
Oh my God, Ken, sorry about your full
Ken's from
name.
San
that we
Francisco.
blasted you
Okay.
out. Oh my God, Ken, it's delicious. It was a delicious beer. It is wonderful. Thank you very much. No, so Joe, do you have
I was gonna say those two in that movie really did because I loved 10 Things I Hate
Yeah.
About You, and I would say Heath Ledger might have done it for me a little
Oh
bit too.
wow,
That charismatic man.
He is. I mean, a dreamboat.
It's very
right?
good.
GD
Joseph
dreamboat.
Gordon-Levitt wasn't quite running on all cylinders
Are
yet.
you?
He's fine. He's fine.
What did
He's
you say?
fine.
Huh?
He said
I love the
Joseph
women in that
Gordon-Levitt
movie.
wasn't running on
But
all
before
cylinders.
that,
Oh, and
Oh,
Heath
Heath
Ledger was
Ledger.
also. Oh, and Armivo froze.
and Armivo froze.
So we're gonna keep talking, but there
while
could be some.
folks, stay tuned because I'm about to grill you on this.
Oh,
Did you just admit to?
I was like half joke, but I could these days I could admit to Heath Ledger as a charismatic hell of a man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you kidding
Well,
me?
now
Also,
that you've said it, I don't have to, so I can't.
I will. He didn't
now that
like.
you agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have to audibly say what you
But
just
you
did.
100% agree that Heath Ledger is a one hell of a
Doesn't
man.
matter if I do or not. Joe just said it.
But if you
and
did,
it makes
you would
sense.
say absolutely.
I understand why he would say it.
Because you 100% agree.
I love him. I really love him, and he's a treasure, and I miss him.
Yeah, that's
he
the
was one of
truth.
those like, oh, but you don't really. I don't buy that you're in high school roles. I was like,
Oh,
no.
yeah, the
Every
first
man. There's not a single. If they would actually, I would love to see a real rom-com where it's just like the like pencil thin,
Yeah.
like cystic acne. That's what I want to see because that's what I grew up with. It wasn't the dudes that did in high school look like they were 40 now look 95.
Yeah.
Just an FYI.
I was at a diner and I saw the cool guy from Bring It On come in, and he looks still really freaking cool.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You're like, God dang, you're
Like he
so
looked
cool.
like a kind of out of work actor a little bit, but like a cool out of work actor,
Yep.
like
Still cool.
cool guy who's
Still a cool guy.
super cool. Another one that kind of that stuck out, and this would be more like, so those were like crushes. I wasn't like an animalistic sexual attraction to them.
Sure.
Like, I think they're both very pretty, and I like what they got to offer in the personality department. But then it got super animalistic with was it Shannon Elizabeth in American Pie?
Yeah, that makes sense.
In American Pie, where I was just like, oh.
Yeah. Different.
Okay.
That's a
thing.
different wake up call. Yeah.
And that was just a different type of beauty for me at the time too. And I will take credit for calling out that Lacey Chabert was getting very pretty, and I was on the Lacey Chabert train very early. Not like what is it? What was the Heaven show she was in with Jessica Biel? Seventh Heaven. Not there. No, she was Party of Five.
Yeah, she was Party of Five.
Not there. But I was like, later on, I was like, okay. Oh.
All
And
right.
then there was a Maxim spread, and I was like,
See, you guys men have the Maxim spread. We just have rom-coms that make us
Oh, and
wish
then she was
that
in Mean Girls,
You
and she
wouldn't
was
have.
very pretty.
No.
And then she was always very pretty.
See,
Gwen
there's those ones
Stefani,
that shake
I
you.
was-
Oh, that's a shake.
God,
That's
real
a
big
shakedown.
Yeah, that Gwen
That's a real.
Stefani.
It's just those ones that like really in your youth shake you real good to where you're just like, I loved them. I
Yeah.
don't know them,
Yeah.
but I loved them.
That Lacey Chabert was my love.
It's a good
Yeah.
topic. It's a good
Yeah.
topic.
I'm just saying,
really good.
it happens, and it really, as a 33-year-old woman, hearkened me back to that like helplessness as a teenager, being like, I am in love with this
Yeah.
stranger.
That's the difference. Can we talk about that really quickly?
Yeah.
That's very interesting because you talk about Tiger Beat magazine and things that get plastered up on the wall. And for guys growing up, it was, and Elliott, tell me if I'm wrong for your experience, but if something got plastered on my wall or my friend's walls or whatever, stereotypically a young man's wall, it was usually like a bikini poster.
Yeah,
of Jenny
see,
McCarthy.
that is a difference.
Something very sexualized and idolized on that level. But
For women, it's always
I
the
never felt
rom-com.
like I was in love with any of them or had a chance, but I feel like young ladies, like you just said, like you fall in love.
I think that's like a little difference of it is that like
Huge
literally you're
difference.
supposed to, I mean, I don't want to get into it on this topic, but it's like how women have been derived as sexual beings since your day one as men, and then as women you've been told to like really protect yourself, and so when someone is kind and generous and going to fall in love with you first and take care of you first, that tends to be what harkens as a young teenager. That's what you get taught is better, is that. So I mean,
You don't
also
think there's any kind of, like-
there's 100% sexuality in it,
Not just
but,
sexuality, but even just genetic and makeup. There is a huge
Oh,
societal
maybe,
push,
sure,
there's
but
gotta
I
be a
think
difference.
I do think a lot of it has to do with like how they push it forward in society. I think, or
Sure,
like just how
sure.
that happens, or how
Sure.
women are produced, for lack
you
of a
have-
better word.
did
Or
you
they
have-
produced her really well.
Did you have under your like love Tiger Beat posters that you'd
I
rip
didn't
down
have
when
any
nobody
Tiger,
was looking, and it would
I
be
had
all like
no Tiger Beat
the
posters.
naked
That should be
guys?
known. I had no Tiger Beat posters because I had older siblings, and
Ah.
they would have ridiculed me. I mean, like truly dragged me through the mud. But I had magazines that I hid from them. I had things like that, and then I would put up weird posters
Penthouse,
like.
Playboy.
And the one that I never got, just a super penthouse Playboy, just really hustler. I got ones that the one I never got guff for, and it was because I did the whole poster with Sequest DSV, and it was
Sequest
Jonathan
DSV,
Brandis was in it.
yes.
Ooh, and
No
he was-
idea.
May he rest in peace. Was a full god dang dream.
This was like that show for Elliott was Star Trek, but on a submarine.
It was not
in
good.
the ocean.
It was
Cool.
very bad.
That sounds amazing.
And I think
It
they
was-
had like
That
a
sounds
Roy
really fun.
Schneider was the like captain.
yeah, and didn't they have a dolphin?
Rob Schneider was not the captain.
Oh,
They had a
man.
dolphin. They had a talking
There-
dolphin.
If there was a Star Trek submarine with Rob Schneider as the captain, I will watch every one of those episodes. That sounds amazing.
And there's a talking dolphin named Darwin.
That's what it was.
And
Cool.
he talked to Lucas Wallencheck, who was the boy genius and also a dreamboat. So I got away with it by putting a giant poster on there and then just secretly, slowly loving the tiny face of Jonathan Brandis the whole time.
Yeah, I'm lost. I've no.
But I think it
No,
is
even
different.
not even the slightest. It sounds like I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, and I don't know what project you're.
I love it.
No.
I can't imagine a Star Trek submarine. I'm still wrapping my head around that.
I'm going to make you watch 4 seconds of an
Yeah,
episode
that's
because it
all
was
you
really
need to
bad.
watch.
But that's all you need to watch. But
it's also just a horrible.
it is
show.
just one of those things of I think you're right where it's like they put up a hot bikini babe and then we're literally we fall in love. But here's the difference. Here is the serious difference. Women will take that forever. 14 to 20-year-old girls make the world go round. They will buy every One Direction album. They will buy every this. Because I remember, and even now, I'm devoted to those people. Like that's the difference. Is
They're in
you
your
had Shannon
DNA.
Elizabeth and you go, oh yeah, Shannon Elizabeth, whatever. That person is a facet of my heart. Like
Two
I
more.
get that on a yeah, I get that. Yeah, totally.
know?
That's
It's like
I don't
I'm-
think that's
gender
specific.
Because
Yeah,
you
I-
still
I-
are. Actually, you just said it earlier. Said I'm still into Britney Spears.
still into Britney Spears, but also just like on music, on most like art. I mean, I think when you're at that age, like your brain is forming at a very rapid pace,
Yeah.
and you're having all these things massively imprint on you, whether it's like real or not. And yeah, so
It sticks
makes,
with you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like
they're
there's a
part
lot
of
of people
my
who
frontal lobe,
still
man.
think we're funny. And it's only because we laced into their. It's true. That's a true thing.
Thanks, Dad.
They don't know.
They're like, I don't want to watch them anymore.
We're
but I still
funnier,
will.
but they're still they are.
That just I know who my first movie crush was now because
Oh,
of this
who was it?
conversation. I'm going to say her last name wrong.
Is it
Anna-
Chipette again?
I'm
Because
gonna
I
say
can't
it-
do the.
I think it's funnier to say her name wrong first. Anna Chomsky
Klumsky
from My Girl. I was
Yes.
in love with her as
All
a
right,
as a
there
kid.
it is.
Well, have you seen Veep? My God.
Yeah,
She's
Have you
amazing.
seen
Yeah,
Veep?
I know she's in it. And
She's
very-
incredible
Yeah, I hear
in
she's
it.
really
Yeah,
good.
she
I mean,
is.
you're different now. People are different,
Everyone's
but
different.
But
she's so good.
like you're saying, it leaves an imprint because there was this there was a poster in my library at school and it said like something like blah 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 read books, right?
Yeah.
They had all this stuff, but it was her and Macaulay Culkin
Reading,
on a rope
yeah.
swing reading a book together from that movie or something like that. And if I saw that poster right now, my heart would go, oh.
Yeah,
That's
see?
cool. Yeah.
There it is.
That's nice.
Oh, it's so sweet. I do
Cool
love
topic,
it. It's the
man.
young
Fun
love.
stuff, yeah.
JTT.
Young love, JTT forever in
Did
my
you?
heart.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, of course I did.
Oh, Topanga. You love Topanga. There we go.
Topanga.
I wasn't super into Topanga.
What?
I loved them, but I was definitely like, that's
Oh,
Corey's
you
girl.
loved their love.
Oh, that's Corey's
Oh,
girl.
that's
Sorry,
Corey.
I could
That's
never-
untouchable.
So sorry, I could
That's
never.
so
That's
good.
Corey's girl.
Certain rules.
Yep, I get it. Oh, guys,
man.
we have a new sponsor. Yes! We have a new sponsor, and I'm actually very passionate about this sponsor. For our audience, Audible.com. Audible. Specifically, Audible is offering a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial. If you want to listen to it, Audible has it. It's the truth. They have so many things. Go to audible.com/Valleycast or text Valleycast to 500-500 and browse their unmatched selection of audio content. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy.
Do it.
I love it because you can search by author, browse category. You really can find pretty much anything you want to find. I am a sucker, everyone knows this, for the Harry Potter Audible books.
Yeah.
Jim Dale reads it, and he's incredible. Like, he does all the voices. I don't know if I would have actually gotten as into him if I didn't listen to him. That's how I got into Harry Potter books.
Oh, really?
My brother-in-law gave me one to read on the ride home.
You're like, that
when I
looks
was
big. I don't want to read that.
I was I was like in my 20s
Yeah.
when I first read it, and literally like read it. I mean, listened to it, and I was like, I'm hooked. I'm done. And it's so good. They have all the selections of that. I did
You
Wrinkle in
got the
Time.
book and then went to audio?
No, I got the audio. I had a 6-hour-long drive, and
that's
my
what I did.
brother-in-law literally was like, "Listen to this; it'll change your life." And I was like, "It's a Cansbach."
No,
and
it's
then
amazing. Yeah,
listen
they're
to
good.
it; it changed my life.
His
and
voices
then
are heavy.
yeah, he's Harry. I know it's so good. It's so good. He's right.
Just
it's
to prove I listened to it.
That is true.
You guys, who's Jim Dale? Can you?
He does a lot of audiobooks, but he does
Cool.
specifically the
Way to go,
voices in
Jim Dale.
audiobooks.
Very
He's incredible.
British. It adds to like it's like
It
a
really is.
grandfather drinking.
It's beautiful.
He's reading
Hot
you a
cocoa.
book.
He's
That's
reading you a
awesome.
book. It
Yes.
really is beautiful.
I'm sold.
It's amazing.
It's so good. But I recently did Wrinkle in Time, and that was so good. I love Audible because it kind of gets me through driving and all those different things. And it's the summer. It's kind of happening. So audiobooks are always a really great sidekick for like hiking, sunbathing at the beach. The beach is a really good place to listen to it. I do that a lot. Anytime outdoors, anytime we go camping, I'll do audiobooks and we'll listen to them at night
Yeah.
before we go to bed. It's
I'm
the
not that
best.
active, but I don't want to hold a book. So
Yeah, no.
I will stay still and sedentary. But
I will not be hiking, but I will be listening to your book. Audible helps you listen to more books by letting you switch seamlessly between devices. This is one of the best parts about them is that they can go from your phone to your tablet to Amazon Echo, anything. You can get tons of books, hands-free, eyes-free, and you can get
It plays on
pretty
the
much.
on the Echo on the
It
dot.
plays on the Echo. That's what I'm saying. You could literally be. We've been cleaning our house before and listening to it. It's so great.
I'll let you finish the read.
No, it's okay. But it is exciting. I really do love it.
Yeah.
So get a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial at audible.com/Valleycast or text Valleycast, all one word, Valleycast, to 500-500.
Do it.
That's audible.com/Valleycast or text Valleycast to 500-500.
And then text Valleycast all your friends and family.
Yeah, just text them. Just say Valleycast, but also 500. And
Text
you
them,
get a
tell
free
me you love
book.
'em.
And thank you, Audible,
Thank
because
you, Audible.
I love you so much.
Thank you, Audible. I've been waiting on some kind of an Audible sponsorship because
Ooh, you
I
do like books.
Yeah, I do, and I've
You're a
never
bookster.
signed up for Audible because Audible's the thing. Like Audible's been around and people have said
Yeah.
It
Audible
makes
before.
us feel like a legit podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
totally.
does.
It's very
It really
legitimizing,
does.
and it's also like an honor, Audible, but also like I've never used a code before, so now I get to use the code
Oh, that's
that will
nice.
make it appear as though it was one of you guys, and you should also do it, and we'll do it together and be nice.
Fun
that'll be
times.
really nice.
Lee,
And
great.
then I will say this because I actually asked for reading material months ago, and you guys came through. So
Yeah, you did.
if you want, you can then I will tweet out my reading material things that I got from you guys because it's been great, and we can all do it on audible.com/Valleycast.
Lee, good topic, good read.
Thank you.
I'll jump into mine.
Ooh, do it.
You were talking about the new show that we did yesterday, Your World Today. Just went up today. One of the
Hashtag
topics
Your
we
World
covered was that Harry Cavill and
No, Dad. Henry Cavill.
Harry
Dad,
Cavill.
Hey, Dad. It's Henry.
No, it's
Heavy Kevin.
Harry
Harry.
and Brad Affleck are stepping down.
Oh no, it's Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck.
Who?
Who? I think you mean who?
Oh, Dad. Hey, Dad.
Anyways, those two hot guys, hunks, are stepping down from their superhero roles of Batman and Superman, respectively. And I just wanted to throw out to you guys, because casting rumors are already starting. Let's talk about who should be Batman and Superman
I like
moving
that a lot.
forward. And let's, no, I'm not going to put any type of qualifiers on it. Let's just talk about it. Let's just talk. What do you guys think? Because Michael B. Jordan is one of the people that is
He's
being talked
rumored,
about
right?
for Superman,
Yeah.
which is awesome. That'd be really
I
cool.
could get behind that because
Bold
I
move.
love me some Michael B. Jordan,
I
and
would
everyone knows.
Oh, he's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I would contend I'd lift him up out of those blue tights and
Yes.
go move him over to the utility belt. Like, put him in Batman suit.
See,
Yeah.
I would do Batman. That's what I was thinking too. I would do
How
Batman
cool would
more
that
than that.
be?
Also, because I'm gonna get so much flack for this, but Superman isn't my favorite
Yeah, you were
superhero.
talking about
I was
this.
talking about. I know it's gonna get guff. I just kind of feel like he's
He hasn't been.
he's a little
adequately-
one note.
He hasn't been adequately
little one
played
note.
since Dean
And
Cain.
here's the thing. I think so too. He has not been adequately played since Dean King. Because here's the thing. Here is the truth of it.
For those listening
in
who
order
are
to
new,
make
we don't take any
Superman-
opinions that
No.
we have seriously. So
In order
I
to
mean
make
that.
this is the truth. No, he means it. I mean it too. I love
Really?
Lois and
Yeah.
Clark. Oh, I loved
Yeah.
it. Oh, I
I
loved
love
it.
Lois and Clark, but what you said is different than I love Lois and Clark. You're saying that Dean Cain was the last good Superman?
Who was the
Yeah, who?
Henry Cavill and
Guys, Brendan Roof.
He's all right.
he's fine.
No, he's
I
fine.
think he's
he was
oh,
fine.
man.
I like
he was fine.
Harry Cavill. I think he's very good as Superman.
It's Henry.
I-
Dad, it's Henry.
it's not like it's a stretch of a role.
Dad, it's Henry Cavill. No, it's not a stretch of a role. But that's my difficulty is I think people struggle with playing Clark better because Clark to me was like
Clark is the interesting
swag.
part.
He's
for
Swayze.
sure.
He's like the best. But everyone's just kind of like, here's Clark again. Put on those, take off the glasses, and wow. Like there's
Dork, nerd boy.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Batman is a super complex character that has gotten many wonderful reiterations or iterations, I guess you would say.
Right.
But to me, the lamer one of the two, no offense, is Superman. So if I'm gonna have Michael B. Jordan be anything, it's gonna be Batman.
You're saying this as though this is that you should have no fear saying this. This is it goes without saying that Batman is unequivocally
significantly
cooler.
better than Superman. I think
But
that is the truth.
I will say, and because I feel the same way, I think Superman is boring. But I will say that that I think is indicative of not having read many of the actual comics, because I think it's actually he's more interesting in the lore when you get into it,
But
because
then
it's a
to
Greek.
me,
He's a Greek god.
There's wonderful transfers. Like, it's like Iron Man, stunning through and through. To me, I don't think I'd ever be able to see it not be RDJ. That's the truth.
It'll be tough.
It'll be tough.
That's tough, yeah, that's
But
terrible.
because that's been so defined in my mind as to what it is. But I did grow up and I read Iron Man. Like I do remember loving Iron Man pretty much from the get go. So that is a difficult one, is because
Yeah.
Iron Man is just
Can I
maybe-
throw out a name?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out a name, and you guys can put him in either role. Just let me know if
Wait,
you see
hold on.
him.
I
I will
think we
say,
should
I will say
designate.
Christopher Reeve. I have to preface, Christopher Reeve did a wonderful job of being such a Swayze Clark. Like that is one that he actually got Clark pretty good and sexy and
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it was it helped that there wasn't. He was the first, but he wasn't the first, so that
He
would have
wasn't
been an
the first.
incorrect statement.
No.
But he was just good.
He's good.
Reeve, you want me to say which one I think this should be? Okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna say for Batman, Ryan Gosling.
Love it.
now.
I
You
wish
know?
he has a past that I think is too weighted by superhero
Yeah.
stuff already. But
Gosling?
oh, sorry, I was thinking Reynolds. Yeah.
Reynolds, yeah, no,
No,
Ryan
Oh,
Gosling.
Gosling.
Ryan
No,
Interesting.
see, I don't
think he
know.
might be a little too pretty, but it's interesting. He might be able to pull it off.
Definitely
No.
pretty. He does the brooding thing, but
Caitlin's
he
over
does-
here
Right.
shaking her
He
Here's
head.
kind of
why-
plays Batman and everything
Yeah,
already.
that's
He
what
just
I'm
kind of stands around.
Oh, there we go.
That's
Yeah,
the
he's
truth. He
perfect.
really does it well. Also, I mean, I recently saw Nice Guys, which was so singing good, and
I love
it
Nice
literally
Guys, yeah.
was like, I was like, this is what you should be doing with your life. Is this like hilarious, still like adorable,
So
funny
good.
guy? But no, I don't think.
I
Because
don't know if I
again,
think either.
it's superhero.
I'm just saying
It's
names,
also
tossing it.
indicative of the role because like Chris Pratt is such a wonderful Star-Lord. I don't think he'd be a wonderful anything else, but Star-Lord's such a great character for him.
Yeah.
I love like that was one growing up. I did Guardians of the Galaxy was set in my mind, and it was because there was a raccoon in it. Absolutely,
I love animals.
But that was one where you're just like perfect casting.
I got
Like,
it.
Oh, which
my
one though?
gosh.
Batman or
I
Superman?
don't give a flying shit about Superman. So my thing, I don't care.
you're emotionally
a pretty
invested.
man. I don't know. Who
Oh
cares?
yeah,
Like,
you're right.
He's
Yeah,
great.
you're
I
right.
love Superman, but like I truly don't
Who
care.
played Christian Grey in the movies?
Exactly. No way.
Yeah, that guy's
That
fine.
guy
yeah,
can be
he
it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, give it
that
to him. Who
very
cares?
forgettable human.
No, somebody can save
be
Superman. No way.
Superman.
Somebody
I didn't
can
know
do
who
it.
Henry Cavill was before he played Superman. If
Yeah,
we'd
you-
have had this conversation 7 years ago, and
Yeah,
been
that's
like,
fair.
Henry Cavill, be like,
Somebody can
he's
save
just a-
Superman.
Like, right.
Here it is,
All right, I'm ready.
ladies and gentlemen. It's a it is a I won't get into the director, but I would like the idea that we go bold, you know.
Okay.
And so let's just say, for the sake of the argument, someone of the caliber of let's say Nolan, okay. And so
Okay.
here's my idea: Batman Beyond. Batman is played by sorry to do this, Michael Keaton, and the younger Batman is played by a buffed out, beefed up, and ready to be weird and dark Dane DeHaan. Thank you, everybody. Oh no,
Who?
Dane DeHaan or
Dane DeHaan's
Evan
already
Peters,
weird and dark.
but buffed up, you know.
Oh, you want to get him on steroids?
Get
That
him some-
Hollywood treatment.
I want to give him the Hollywood
You
Give
wanna
him
treatment.
some
Hollywood
PEDs.
Soup him up a
treatment.
little, or Evan Peters. Evan Peters would be a dope ass,
Evan
Evan
Peters
Peters
is
would
angry,
be
like
really good.
brooding, like violent, and not afraid to scream and like get weird and like terrorize.
But see, that's
people,
when
like
you got to
Batman
go. Here's the
actually
thing. I do think that's when you have to go, like, what villain? I feel like save him, reserve him for a sick villain of the.
does. That is the
That's just
problem with
my
Batman.
opinion.
Is the rogue gallery is so much more compelling than the protagonist of the story. But yeah,
Yeah.
he would be great as Evan Peters would be great as like a Joker. or
Joker,
something like that, or
yeah,
Riddler.
exactly. Penguin.
Riddler should be what's his name? The guy
Jim
who was
Carrey.
in Jim Carrey's. I wouldn't mind
Honestly,
a new
I-
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey
Riddler.
now in
Now?
like a Nolan universe would be so
Unreal.
crazy.
It
So
makes
cool.
me upset he didn't get the chance.
He was fun in the movie that he
Yeah,
was
I thought
in.
it was fine. I really didn't
I
mind Batman Forever as much as people were like me. I was like, I had a great time.
He was great.
Who's the guy from Prisoners? Not Jake Gyllenhaal, but who would also be a very good
Jake
villain.
Gyllenhaal's
Jake
interesting.
Gyllenhaal would be
Gyllenhaal
a
would be
not bad. No, I don't
That's
like it. Never mind. I just
interesting.
decided
I like him as
hate
Batman.
it.
It'd be
I
cool.
hate it in my mind.
I would
did it.
if I found out Jake Gyllenhaal was going to be Batman, I would be pretty stoked. I think it'd be pretty cool. But
A
I
Batman,
don't want them.
yes. Superman, no. Again, what can we just?
Well, I don't give a shit. So I can't emphasize. I can't even pretend
so
to care.
mad at
But
Superman.
the universe I would hope is better than the one that they're currently in, and I appreciate
yeah,
what they're
I
doing
get
with
it.
the movies.
You
but,
want it to be the darker, though. I appreciate the
Dark.
darker. I appreciate the Nolan so much with that. That's where I feel like it lives and breathes
Yeah.
and dies.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But I do agree with that. I don't know. I think Miles Teller would be a pretty stinking good Superman
Wasn't
because
he
I
in
think
the running
he can.
for it at some point?
Maybe I like
Sorry.
him a lot, and I really think that he could add.
I wouldn't mind
whatever
Miles Teller.
depth he could add to that.
I beat him at acting when I was in 10th grade.
Attaboy. There you go.
So
hold on to that.
since then, our
Forever.
careers have
Do you
been on the
want-
same trajectory.
We're gonna need to make him a trophy.
Yeah,
That's the
let's-
only way
we'll
we're
put
gonna
it
be
right
able
up
to
here
get
on the
through.
wall.
I have the trophy.
Yeah.
It'll be
Oh,
great.
sorry. Okay, apologies.
It was a superior.
Yeah. I'm
Good
trying
for
to,
him
but
for
like
getting
someone
best.
else like that, where it's like a very young, like to me, if you go villains, it is like Paul Dano. It is
Paul
like,
Dano. That's what I meant for Riddler. Yeah, Paul Dano. That's
Paul
exactly
Dano.
what I was trying
That's
to say.
like a- that is a-
That, he's from Prisoners. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
And,
like
Paul
that.
Dano's unreal.
The
I
Beach
like
Boys
that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
But that's
Good
a
topic,
good
Joe.
one.
Yeah,
it is a good
man.
topic. This is
Could,
it's hard because I figured out who I want my my Superman to be, and that's
I'm ready.
not even a joke.
Ooh.
Because I love him so much. Matt Bomber.
Oh my
Do you know
gosh.
about-
You're gonna have to help me.
He's
Matt
in
Bomber,
Matt Bomber. He's in White Collar, and he's
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
dreamy
He's
beyond dreamy.
He's a very pretty human being.
He is a very pretty human being.
He's a
Gay.
derivative of the
Gay.
guy that you
Yeah,
like
he's gay.
from
Yeah,
the
he's
Netflix show.
incredible.
He's incredible. And Kit
American Horror
Harington
Story.
actually just came out and was like, "Hey, cast more gay people like in superhero roles." Like he like had this whole it was more involved than that, but it was like a whole constant thing how he was like, you have all these actors like we can differentiate, move on. Like, and Matt Bomer would be an unreal. I mean, he looks like Clark Kent, he looks like Superman, but he's one that does that darkness and that like shit eating, like troubled so well.
He's fantastic.
He's fantastic.
He's really good.
And so that's one that I would be like,
For who?
for Superman.
Nah.
You want him as Batman?
Really?
No, I
As
don't think he's dark
Batman?
enough
He's
as
not
Batman.
Batman. He's definitely Superman.
That kind of duality when you can. That's
I
what's
know.
cool about Batman is there's like more of like a.
I know.
Because
I get
Bruce
it.
Wayne is a crappy playboy, and there's like a moral difference between whereas Clark
Oh,
Kent's
I
still
guess
a
he
good guy.
would. I guess you're right. He would be a really great bad boy in that.
This is
No, again, who is the loser that played Christian Grey?
Who's the loser? Who's that nerd?
Here's an interesting.
Who's that dweeb?
Here's an interesting thing that 100% has probably been done, and I'm talking about something that I don't know about. But what if? How cool would it be if somebody took Superman, but took the Bruce Wayne part of Batman and replaced Clark Kent? Like Superman is this rich playboy, but he's
Yeah.
also
I
Superman.
wonder if that's happened somewhere in the
Somewhere
comics.
in the
probably
universe it
has,
has,
but that
where
could be
Clark
very
gets like
interesting.
super sick and dope and awesome, and
Yeah.
he's like, yeah.
Rob Stark. What's the guy who played Rob Stark? What's his name?
That'd be cool.
What if he was Superman?
Great choice. What's his name?
We sat down with him when we worked at Source
I
Fund.
know.
If you're listening in your car,
Robert.
just
Robert. Nope.
Robert Stark?
No, I
Is
can't.
that your name?
Rob
Is it
Stark.
Robert Stark.
That's what your name
Real life
is
Robert Stark.
continuously.
Kit
and here's
Harington.
my thing. Oh, I
Nope,
got it.
nope,
So I
nope,
have my
nope.
casting.
What's Harrington? What's who's
no.
That's Jon.
That's Jon
Snow.
Stark. Jon
That's
Snow.
Jon
Oh,
Snow.
that's who I was thinking of. Jon Snow.
No, I was thinking about
Jon Snow would be a
Rob
pretty good
Stark,
Batman.
Yeah,
his
Jon
older
Snow.
brother.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Wow.
my Batman choice is wow. We are
Sorry, everybody.
This is my Batman choice, and it's truth. I know that you want Matt Bomer, but I'm going Matt Bomer as Superman, and that's how it is. And I'm sorry.
That's pretty good.
My Batman
Very
choice is, and will forever maybe be, now that I've thought about it, Chris Pine.
I thought about that too. I just feel like he's
No,
already
because
been
he can do,
superheroish
dude,
too
he can
much
do
already.
this. He can do the Bruce Wayne.
And I love
guy
Chris Pine.
really well.
Chris Pine would be fantastic.
I
He'd
love
be
Chris Pine.
phenomenal.
That's a really good choice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
That
Thanks.
actually would be amazing. Because what
he-
Chris Pine would do is
Yeah.
it would remind me of like Val Kilmer in Batman Forever, which I know isn't like a good movie, but I remember being a kid and like the version of Batman that Val Kilmer
Yeah.
was this incredibly like so over the top, but still it's still cool.
Yeah.
Before they went full not cool with George Clooney, but like he would have that look about him, like that just like swag to him.
Like
which
he
would be
knew.
very cool.
He
You know,
knew
it'd be
what
a-
was up. He
Yeah.
got it. That's Chris Pine.
Pine's great.
He is. I remember when people were not on board with him in Star Trek, and
I
I was
forever
like, no,
was.
he is.
Is it?
He's really good. They were giving because he wasn't Shatner, but he actually did channel
Nice.
Shatner a little bit.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah.
What about this world? We have a movie starring both of them, and it's Superman played by Michael B. Jordan, and it's
Oh,
Batman played by Donald Glover.
I don't know if Donald could do it. I think he
could.
can do anything, but I don't know.
or vice
Here's the
versa
thing.
if you want. What if we got? What if
I
we
don't
got
know.
to see
I don't
I
want
would
there to be
save
like
him.
a black superhero movie. That's like where they make it. I know that sounds like terrible.
That sounds. Edit that
That's
out.
the worst
No,
thing.
I'm just
No, relax. I'm not. It
You
would
mean
seem,
you don't want it to be like it's
it
like
would
a
seem-
gimmick?
It
You don't
would
want
seem
it
like
to
a
feel like a
gimmick.
gimmick.
It would seem
Yeah, I
pandery.
understand
So
that.
that doesn't.
I don't know. I think it'd be good.
I think it could
I
be
would
good.
watch it,
Here's
and
the
it'd be
thing. Oh, I
amazing.
would watch it in a heartbeat.
It would
but
just feel to me like like you wouldn't want to be like. I mean, I'd watch it. Yeah, I'm down. I just don't. You don't
I
want it to be
understand.
gimmicky.
I think
that's all.
That's the thing. I
Whatever.
understand. It's that
Keep
he
it in.
doesn't want it to be like gimmicky.
trouble.
No,
Yeah, I'm in trouble. You said something about. Yeah,
You're in
no.
trouble for saying
take it out of
things.
context. Put it on a T-shirt. No.
Take it out of context.
Take it
put
out of
on a
context.
t-shirt.
Put
We'll
it on
sell
a
it.
T-shirt. Get mad about it on the internet.
Guys, get mad about that. Elliott
There it
Morgan.
is. Get
I
mad
just
about
don't
it.
want there to
That's
be like
gonna
a
be
black.
my T-shirt is gonna be get mad about it on the internet.
Yeah,
That's gonna be mine.
Hobble
on.
his career.
Get mad
Make him
about
move
it.
on.
I like the order you went in. Though. Get on the internet.
Goodbye.
Get mad
Mad
about
about it. Take it out of context. Put it on a T-shirt. Get mad about it on the internet.
Well,
Anyway.
I don't think we landed on anything solid, but here we
No,
are.
no, we did. It's Chris Pine and Matt Bomer. Grow up.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Moving forward.
Racist.
No, but here's the thing. Oh, it's that feel. No, I actually do love the Michael B. Jordan as Superman, but I do feel like he'd be wasted. I would pop him in Batman for sure.
Yeah.
Like that would be what I would have to do.
That would have done Donald Glover. as
And I
Spider-Man.
would do. See, here's the thing. I would put Donald Glover in that rogue gallery of villains. To me, that's where I think he's a treasure.
That's yeah.
The difficulty is that Batman, to me, in that universe has, I mean, in all the universes, has the best.
Wait. What
Period.
about your Netflix
He's
boy?
the
Could he
best.
do it?
Huh?
What about your Netflix boy? Could he do it?
Noah Centineo?
Yeah.
In 6 years, yeah.
Well, no,
Guys,
no.
I'm dry. I'm my
If you
officially
went the
thirsty
Batman,
again.
the Batman Beyond route. Ooh, look at that! I'm some little
out of Diet
Thursday.
Coke. I'm officially Thursday
form a
again.
sentence.
Some of the odds.
Yoza. Noah Centineo? Who?
Synchronicity.
Is it Noah Centineo? Absolutely not. Again,
Ooh.
I don't think he's old enough. But
Throwing
yes.
this name out.
Okay.
John Hamm.
He wants it.
Yeah.
He's
I
asking
read
for
a
Superman.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to be Superman.
Ooh, he's going to have to buff up hard. But he could do it. He could do it.
He's the type of actor that I
but
assume
see, here's
is
the thing.
buff.
No, because remember Brolin? Like, how yoked he got?
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Yeah.
I anticipate that it would be.
Yeah, he was so good in
He was
in,
so good.
that movie.
In
Deadpool.
that movie, Deadpool. No, he actually was. Cable. He was Cable.
Cable.
Ooh, this
What
is
you got?
a little bit of a curveball, but it could be very fun because he's one of the best
Seth
actors
Rogen.
on the planet.
Seth Rogen, full
God,
circle.
Green Hornet. James McAvoy as Batman.
No, grow up. Get out of here, Joe.
James
You ruined all of
McAvoy.
it.
No way.
No.
That dude can play
No.
Bruce
Sorry.
to a T.
No.
Throw
There's
a
no
mask
way.
on, James
There's
Give me
no
one
way.
piece of evidence that he even knows how to act. Name one movie.
Name one movie.
Because he plays the
No,
same role in
sorry.
every film.
Dude,
I disagree. Oh, Fassbender, I could fucking.
Oh, that's
put
pretty
in
good. That's
a
interesting.
goddamn
I was in the camp
heartbeat.
that thought McAvoy deserved an Oscar nomination for
For
Split.
Split? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That was really good.
I watched it and I was like, yep.
Hey, people listening to this podcast right now, if you're on YouTube, let us know in the comments who you think
Oh,
should
please
fill
do. I
these
think that would be great. And I
roles.
think
tweet
you're right.
at
It
us,
should be
too.
Chris Pine.
It's Chris Pine. Chris Pine's a great choice. I think Chris Pine.
I think he's good.
would
I don't
be a
know if that's who I'm
fantastic
choosing, though.
I'm
Batman.
his number one fan.
Yeah, Chris Pine is.
He's very
I
good.
think I'm on Chris Pine. I think
Chris
I'm on the
Pine,
Chris Pine.
he just seems like
wagon.
a good hang. You know?
Solid hang.
I just want to hang.
Funny guy.
Yeah, man. Come
Cute
on to the
guy.
podcast, Chris Pine.
Come on to the podcast. Let me
Oh,
kiss
I
you.
can talk to. I can talk.
Come on, podcast.
I don't
Give
think
me a kiss.
I don't think I'm going
We
to come to the
Come on
podcast.
to the podcast. Give me an open mouth little kiss.
I'm getting a steak tonight, guys. I
Come on
get
to the
to leave
podcast.
on
Let
a
me drive
steak.
your car
Well,
home.
that's fun.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Are you cooking it or are you buying it?
What is this? I can't.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Are you guys trying to diverge from my Chris Pine heading up?
No, but Elliott, you got a little thing to read?
What do you got
before
to
we get
do?
to your?
Oh, we
before we
do.
get to your thing?
Guys,
Elliott was
you're not gonna
distracted
believe
by
this.
that steak.
We have guys. John Kozar liked my tweet, so
Oh, John.
John Kozar would be
And
a
the
very
John
tweet was
Kozar
a
would be a
quote of
great
Joe's.
Superman.
He'd be a good Riddler.
would be a good
John
Riddler.
Kozar would
He
be an
knows he'd be a
amazing
good
Riddler.
Riddler.
that was what I was gonna say. What roles would you guys want to play? Because mine would be.
Here's the thing,
Riddler.
and this sucks because I'm gonna be sexist and say that I don't necessarily love all the female villains, even though they are great. I love Poison Ivy because
Or
when she's not
hypersexualized.
Uma Thurman, yes,
She's
that
pretty.
annoys me.
She's pretty
She's pretty,
and very
and also
talented.
she was a scientist to begin with. She was, she was a smart woman to begin with. Catwoman was just a psychopath. That's just a
Yeah.
crazy woman.
Art imitates life. So,
yeah,
okay.
so wait, if I wanted to, it would be the Penguin. Hands down, I want to play the
maybe next
Penguin
podcast.
so
Great choice.
badly.
Great choice. That's
Thank you very much.
Next podcast, I think maybe it'd be a fun, or maybe you guys can just do it in the comments. Cast the Marvel
Yeah.
and DC universe with YouTubers.
With YouTubers.
I want to know.
Yeah, or just us.
I don't care
I
about
wanna
other
know.
YouTubers. I want to know what you think about.
You might be
me.
cast. I mean, maybe. We'll
Right.
see.
No.
You might not
when
be
you
right.
say YouTubers, I was like, dang, I'm out.
you may not be right for the part.
Oh man, it's not me.
Okay, guys, listen. Super excited to talk about this. One of my favorite sponsors in the
It's
world.
a good one.
It is a good one.
Guys, I just got my second shipment from them. I'm talking about Stitch Fix. StitchFix.com/Valley specifically. Here's the deal. It's an online personal styling service that finds and delivers clothes, shoes, and accessories to fit your body, budget, and lifestyle. If you think they're joking, by the way, they're not. You just tell them your sizes, and there's they give you handwritten notes.
Yeah, they're great.
And they ask you, they're like, tell me what
Yeah.
that works, what doesn't. And I was like, well, I ran out of
How was your day?
ran out of funds.
Yeah.
So I was like, you get all these shirts back, but I got new jeans and they're great. And so anyway, and they're high quality and it's amazing. So
Yeah,
anyway,
it's nice.
you'll be paired with your very own personal stylist, as I just mentioned, and probably could have kept the personal part out until after I read it, who will handpick items and then send them right to your door in a box that's very exciting to get. And they also kind of, they didn't include this in the
Maybe a
read,
little Christmas.
they wap it in like a brown wrapping paper. So it's
Yeah.
a
Which
very
looks so
artisanal.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
It's
nice.
It's like you're getting a slab of meat,
Artisanal's a
but it's
dumb
not
word to
meat.
use,
It's
but-
No,
clothes.
it feels like you're getting like a vintage package.
It's
Yeah.
really cool, yeah. So then you try them on, and then here's the deal: if you love it, if you're like, "Oh, this is actually really nice," you pay for it, and the fee that you get that you pay for the stylist is included, so you don't have to worry about anything. It just gets absorbed
that's
into the
nice.
cost of whatever clothes you buy, and you return the rest. And then they're like, "Hey, what didn't you like?" And you're like, "I prefer a slimmer fitting." And they're like, "Okay, guess what? Next shipment is all going to be fixed." It's very cool.
love
And
it.
exchanges and returns are always free. There's no subscription required. You can sign up to receive scheduled shipments or get your fix whenever you want because you don't do that. And so anyway, the fee's $20. It gets absorbed into your payment. And so here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to get started now at stitchfix.com/valley, and you'll get an extra 25% off when you
That's
keep
nice.
all of the items in your box. So
That's a
and-
significant amount of money and
That's
clothes.
nice.
yeah, The box I got did not have that offer, and they do a thing though where if you're like, I just want all of it and I don't want to ship anything back, then it knocks the price off massively, which is very cool. But it not 25%, and you can get that by going to stitchfix.com/valley. That's stitchfix.com/valley.
I will say the boys wear their clothes a lot, and I always know which one is from Stitch Fix because it's like the nicest, cutest thing that they've ever
never
put
says,
on the
"Hey
box.
Joe, you look good today," unless I'm wearing something from that box.
I will say, "Hey Joe, Stitch Fix,"
Yeah.
and then what? Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
that's just
I get it.
truth. Yeah, that's not even pandering. That's just truth.
Now I'm gonna have to say
The day you came in wearing your first Stitch Fix shirt, I was like, what are you doing?
What are you with Joe? Yeah.
What are you trying to be right now?
What's going on?
My friends hate me.
No, we love you. We adore you. No, I love that. I love Stitch Fix.
I tweeted that a month ago. I was like, I hope my friends. I was like, I never think that my friends all hate me. That's for sure. And it got like a lot of retweets, or favorites. But I only tweeted it because Steve was like, "That's funny, do it." But then a bunch of people did the whole thing where they're like, "Oh, yeah," and it's like,
I'm like, no,
Yeah,
it's
we don't do
okay.
that.
My friends do hate me. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like, don't feel sympathy. That's
You're a
gross.
big piece of crap, sir.
Guys, thank you for being here on this episode of the Valleycast.
Yeah, I
How
do
much
love it.
time have we been doing this for? Because I feel
Kate,
like
how long
we
have we
dove
been here?
deep in some
We
of
dove
these,
really deep, didn't we, Kate?
and I don't.
She's like 11 minutes.
Oh, I
50.
We're at 50. We're at
Wow.
the 50 mark.
50-minute mark.
What,
Well,
did you have a?
yeah,
Yeah, if we're at the 50-minute mark.
Yeah.
great. This is perfect because I
will be a
want
mini one.
I want to talk about my subject, but I want more time to think about it, and so I'm going to do that in the future episode if that works for you guys.
Yeah,
Unless
those
you.
are great. No, I love it.
Oh, I didn't. You said
You
it.
want to move on?
I thought we could just end the podcast.
You want to move on? We can end the podcast.
We did end the
Oh my
podcast
God.
right.
Why don't we do it right?
after
How about
a
this?
read?
Dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, we're going to go for a little bit because that's
We
actually
have
bad.
to go
Let's
for
go
it.
for a little bit. Yeah. Let's
Okay,
keep
if
people
you're
around.
listening at
for a
Stitch
little
Fix, just know that they didn't know either that the podcast was about to end, so they still heard it. So okay, here's the subject. I'm going to bring the subject up, and you guys can take it and run with it, and it's not that big of a deal.
Okay. Oh no, is it going to be a heavy one? We're here for another 2 hours, folks. Here
I
we
don't
go.
think it is. I think he's doing a curveball.
Is it a curveball?
It's
Favorite ice cream flavor. Mint chip.
The
Always.
count is full. 3 to 2.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Elliott's
it's gonna be my
winding up.
favorite
Is it
color.
going to be a
Oh,
fastball?
no,
Is it
no,
going to
no,
be a curveball? What's it going to be?
Navy. I think navy's a good neutral.
We
That's
have
why
two
it's my
different
favorite
we have
color.
2 things going on right now. I think we're confusing the
I
audience.
talked to my dad today,
Oh.
and my father, and my father, which is a very formal term. What do you think? You got?
I'm going to get emotional. Go.
It's kind of serious.
Yeah,
Is it?
and
I
we
knew
were
it
over
was.
here
Okay.
being total assholes.
I knew it. Well, that's how
Want
it
to
is.
hold hands and
yeah,
say sorry?
You got it. Sorry.
Oh, I don't give a. That's the same thing we were just talking about with the tweets. Oh, stop.
Sorry.
What's up?
The what? Oh, did our Mevo
Give her a
die
minute.
again? Okay, we'll just keep talking. That's fine.
We're
Our
here.
Mevo, this has happened before.
Yeah,
Our Mevo's
whatever.
acting up. We'll just move on. We got audio. We'll fill it up with fun pictures and
No one's watching physically at this point.
yeah.
It makes you
But
sad.
Elliott's dad.
We'll put pictures up of Elliott's dad.
Oh, I'm sure we won't. I'm sure that won't happen. So anyway, I was talking to him, and he suffered a very detrimental heart attack a few years ago, and I think it was something that really changed him for good reason. And we started talking. There's 2 things we can talk about. One is the fact that something we were talking about at lunch, which is this that it's very hard for me to control junk food that I eat. And Lee said it very well. She was like, if you gave up weed and alcohol, you'd be like, oh, that sucks, but I'll do it. But if somebody was like, give up junk food, I would be like, yeah, I can't. I have a very big problem with that. So that was a fun conversation. And it was one of those things of like, oh, the only reason. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Sorry. It was,
I know it's a
and also not with you, just with that. Anyway. So
That wasn't a rewind or a fast forward. That was just an Elliott.
that was I moved past the paragraph I had to say in my head so fast. I was like, yeah, she doesn't need to.
All the ink got smudged. It's gone.
Yeah, shorthand as they call it. But anyway, the thing that was interesting was there was a moment where we were talking about he had a scare on Monday, and he had like this moment where he was like very like he thought something bad was about to happen, and he has a pacemaker and all this stuff, and it ended up being that the pacemaker did its thing and like saved his life and all this stuff. But it was very scary, and we were talking about it for a second, and like everything was fine. Like I'm not like I don't get very emotional. I'm not like a.
It's still scary.
It's super scary, and I was sort of like doing the thing where it's like because he how parents are, and they'll do the thing where it's like, here's the bullet points.
Yes.
And then it's
I
like,
don't want to scare my kids.
exactly.
Yes.
So they're
it's
like
all bullet points.
You're
Yeah.
31
Yeah.
and you're still his kid. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to scare you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so then he knew why I was calling. He was like, "Oh, you heard about it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so I didn't say it like that. I said, "Yes, sir." But anyway, he was like, he started talking. He was like, he's like, I had the thought when it was happening. He's like, if it's his peaceful as it felt the first time around. He's like, I'm okay. And for some reason, that just made me like
triggered you hard.
Yeah, and I was walking out around the neighborhood over there, and I was like, ooh, I was like, yep, and it was one of those things where like I didn't talk, and I used the fact that I was on the phone to like just stay silent and let him fill the silence. And then when it came time for me to talk, I was like, like I don't know why, that's making me choke up, and I'm gonna walk this off real fast. And like I literally skipped like 3 steps on the sidewalk. I was like, okay, I'm fine now. We're back.
Like
we're
you
back.
Twisted your ankle and you were just like
Something like
walking it out.
that. I slapped, and it was a very interesting thing. But anyway, it was like a very beautiful moment, and it was a very nice thing. But it was also weird that it was almost like. It wasn't like sad. It was very just like sobering and like, oh man.
It's
like,
that's a perfect word for it, Elliott. It's the sobering thing of like, oh shit.
Yeah. I was like driving to work this morning and I was like, I'm gonna like I had the realization, and I'm glad we tacked this on at the end, so Stitch Fix didn't get mad. But no, they won't get mad. I love them. Anyway, disclaimer. So anyway, so there was a very like I was on my way home or on my way here, and I was like, oh, like we're gonna have to like lose these people.
Yeah, it wrecks me.
And I think about that at never.
Do you really never think about that?
Yeah, I never think about it always. Process. Oh yeah,
I think about it consistently.
I mean, I keep it
buried
shoved off in the corner. Yeah. And then moments like that happen where he's like, I'm fine, and I'm like, no, you're not fine. You're gonna stay. You're never gonna be fine. You better fight. And
it is a weird thing. It happens.
Yeah.
It's like a very weird, intense. It's not weird. It's very life, and I feel like it happens at this age. I feel like if that's any consolation in any weirdness, of
totally.
Like this is the age in which we go, they are temporary. Like they are fully temporary. Everything's temporary. We are temporary. It is that thing, and it kind of wrecks you. And I do the thing that I always pull away from it is that like. And my husband was the one that like told me this when I was like, we were going through difficulty with my dad many years and everything. And like, I was just like, I just hate it. I hate that they're temporary. I hate that they're not going to be around all the time because I have 900 million questions. I need advice. And he goes, but isn't it such a beautiful thing that like you want them to stay? Not everyone has that gift.
Very beautiful. Yeah. I mean,
like not everyone has that gift of like that you want them to be there forever and ever. Like no one, that's, to have that in your life is a very special thing.
That's a very nice way. That's a very beautiful way to think about it, for sure.
And that's the only thing I can actually get through it anymore is because I just go like, how cool is it that I want it
that's
to
like
be
the
around?
Life preserver. Yeah, that's like,
exactly.
at least it's nice that I have this pain, which is true.
Exactly.
But sobering is an interesting way to describe it, right? Because a sobering event is something that could be considered taking a negative thing and coming out of it better on the other side, right? So sobering, and then in the other way, it's like, oh, I'm a little down and it depresses me. But there is something beautiful and also his admittance to I'm good with it. Yeah. And because I'm good with it, that means I have no regrets. I feel like I did good by my kids. If it happened, I don't want it to happen, and I'm ready for it. And that's scary.
Nice thing
and I think he'll still fight, and everybody would still fight. But to be able to go out on the other side and not be afraid is super beautiful to me.
Super beautiful. Also, there's a thing where it's like, as the like sad son, there's like the thing of like, but no, like, because if you're, it's like obviously be okay with it, like that's your goal. But then it's like, oh man, like if you're not okay with it, you always hear the story like, no, my time's not done, and it's like the last thing I want on some level is for my loved ones to be okay with dying. I want everyone I know
kicking
to hate the idea of death,
go into it
and to fight
and screaming
because I want them around, which is very selfish and all that.
I don't think his fight. I'm not saying his fight is gone. I think his fight is probably stronger than anything because he knows what he would want to fight for. Yeah. But to know that like I did good and I'm okay with how I did is good too. Like I don't. Want, he doesn't seem like he's afraid. Like, and being afraid would be just as bad too.
Yeah,
like, what did I do? I hope I didn't make any big
Delman
mistakes.
has
I'm afraid of the other side.
100-year-old grandma that in February will be 101, and she's unreal. She's amazing.
I met her. She's a beautiful woman.
She's a beautiful woman. She's so like, she is fire, man. She is so smart. She's so funny, so quick still. The only thing that she hates is that her body is literally failing her.
It
She's
doesn't
just like,
listen.
Yeah, it doesn't listen. She's like, I can't move how I used to move. My vision's gone. She just gets furious, but her mind, she still does a New York Times Sunday crossword puzzle every Sunday, and she's like, her mind is there completely.
She wears that "Make America Great Again" hat
She
all the
does.
time.
She
she
has
has
so
her
mad.
opinions.
That's not even true. She was so mad
Yeah,
that she
she's-
wasn't going to get a letter from Obama when she turned 100. She was like, I don't want a letter from him.
Oh,
she was
who
like
would?
so mad
all
about
the
it.
errors.
We ended up actually
You're
getting.
10.
She's a Jewish woman, like
What if
matriarch.
all of his
She
notes are just
really
like-
does not want Trump
How
to be.
his September 11th tweet was just like 9/11 was 17 years ago.
Yeah.
If
Exclamation
That'd be
point.
her
Yeah,
like,
if
you're
it was like-
100!
yeah.
Exclamation point.
1902 was 101 years ago, whatever.
It's a
That's
1918.
bad
Here
math.
we go. 1918. It's fine. It's 100 years. It's fine. 1918. But no. So she's amazing. But she always says, she's like, how much longer can I stick around? She's just like, but there's that reality that like
Yeah.
every time
Yeah,
you
that's
talk to
long.
them, every time you like see them, you're like, this is the reality that sets in of like,
Oh man, imagine, and I'm sure she feels this on some level, but the exhaustion that it must be like to be that old, and that means that every person who sees you is like,
yes.
hello.
She says that every time. She's
How
just like,
are you?
she's like, I cannot answer this anymore.
Yeah,
she's like,
so,
I cannot.
like, the
and she'll
gravitas
tune
that
out. She
everyone
just
would
like,
talk to you with?
you watch her
Ugh.
literally just be like, I'm fine. I felt
Yeah.
better. It's okay.
I'm a
100.
human still.
But she does have
That would be
those
the
stories
that'd
of
be the
like,
worst part.
yeah, I think that like frustrates her a lot. But luckily, she has people and loved ones around her that just like take her on full speed and are just like, "What was 1922 like?" And she was like, "Oh," and she like will tell you about
Yeah.
going to see vaudeville shows and like
so
amazing
cool,
stuff
so
like that.
cool.
That-
Vaudeville.
Good
Yeah,
stories.
she did vaudeville. She has stories about like how she pinned, canvas to windows because there wasn't glass windows in cars.
Awesome.
It's things like that you're just like, good God, you amazing woman. She had a deaf brother, and they would always go and see silent films together. And the deaf brother could read lips super well, so he would always tell him what the actors were
Before-
actually saying,
Cool.
because none of them were actually saying the
Wow.
lines. Really beautiful
That's
stuff
cool.
like that. That is transformative. But the thing that she always says is she's just like, I'm ready. Whenever I'm ready, it's the time that it's supposed to be. And you just go,
Yeah, there's something about that contentment that's like a very.
It's scary. It's scary because they're realizing fate before
But I
you
think
do, and that's scary. That's hard too.
This
Like,
is the reality. This is the truth of this age. I think is just realizing that, we're lucky that we haven't had to be introduced to it sooner. We're lucky that we haven't had to have that like real, the gravity of you are a temporary person introduced to us
And-
so much sooner.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that, Elliot.
I
Because
know.
there's blessings and
it's
blessings and
not.
curses in every
No,
moment.
but you're just
right?
saying it as a reality. Those
Yeah.
things like that
Yeah.
that happen that you go.
I'm more sorry
But I
for your
appreciate
dad, but like I also
Yeah.
understand what you're saying because like my dad had a quad bypass surgery at one point too, and one of the hardest points in my life was watching him be rolled away on the gurney.
Yeah.
Me saying I love you, him not being very cognizant at the time
Yep.
because he's all drugged up, and I'm like I love you, I hope blah blah blah, and it's all because there's the what if
Yeah.
that is riding right along with that gurney as it goes away, and I'm going away and I'm crying and waiting for him to come out later, and then when he does, it's great, thank
Yeah.
God. Hopefully he's stronger moving forward. But those moments where they hurt and they remind you of time so hard that at the same time they almost gift you time as well because you
Yeah.
realize on the
Oh,
back
that's nice. What a nice way to
on the
yeah.
back end
That
of
is
that
really
moment,
beautiful.
you're going to hug for a time being until you start taking moments for granted again. You're going to hug those immediate moments a little harder
Yeah.
after the fact. So you're going to appreciate the time with your dad a little bit more than you might have
That's the truth.
a couple days ago or weeks ago. It's like we need reminders sometimes, and sometimes reminders can hurt. So
Yeah.
That's very nice.
That's a really nice way of
Well
saying
put,
it.
man.
I really like that a lot.
I was mostly aiming for the talk about diet and junk food. So, oops.
Oh, I'm still going on keto. It's working great
yeah,
for me.
Chris Pine.
There you go. How's that?
Keto, Chris Pine. Yeah, that was the
Keto,
other
Chris
thing.
Pine. There we
I
go.
was gonna go, but at the end of the day, guys, like, who would replace Robert Downey Jr.? Like, if
No
you
one.
had-
Absolutely no one.
We'll figure it out, guys. If
Thank you so
have
much.
enjoyed the podcast and you would like early access to it and to see the full video version, you can go to patreon.com/thevalleyfolk.
Mm-hmm.
We are relaunching our Patreon very shortly. We're very excited about it. We just filmed the new video today that will explain some stuff and what we've been up to. And
You're doing great.
Yeah. We're very
No,
excited.
you're doing great. That was
No,
it.
man. Blah, 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 blah,
And-
blah, blah, blah.
Let us know in the comments, of course, who you think Superman and Batman should be, and if you think Superman's lame.
and if you think Superman's
Dude, you guys, we're going to
And
see
of
some.
course, if you
We're
think-
going to see some.
Oh, I think we're
theses
going to get some
Yeah.
on why
really
Superman
upset
is
people.
awesome.
Okay, and
you know what?
I'll read
Send
it.
them. Send them. Yeah.
Both of
For
us.
real.
You know what? Nice try, internet. Give it you all.
Yeah.
yeah.
Convince me. Because I've heard people be like, "We're here," and I'm like, "I get it," but I'm not.
I think Superman is very contingent on who is playing his Lex Luthor, but that'll be on another podcast.
Wow.
Ooh,
And that's
really
what you
good
can
stuff.
stay tuned for.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks
thank
for
you so
listening.
much.
We're going home, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, like we're done. We're done.
And we're done. She's like, and end.